Welcome back to the GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue shaking up Port Charles like never before, the possible return of Shiloh under the identity of Drew Kane. Let's rewind. Shiloh, once the manipulative leader of the Dawn of Day cult, was believed to have met his end at the hands of Sam and Jason. That chapter, many thought, was closed. But recent events suggest otherwise. A dark twist has emerged, hinting that Shiloh may never have truly died. The story is tangled in deception, betrayal, and deep psychological manipulation, and it all traces back to one name, Cyrus Renault. The truth about Shiloh's survival. Sources close to the situation suggest that 5 years ago, at the height of the chaos surrounding Dawn of Day, Cyrus Renault, then expanding his criminal empire, intervened just in time to save Shiloh from death. With his own motives in mind, Cyrus recognized Shiloh's manipulative talents and saw an opportunity to weaponize them. What came next was a plan as twisted as it was brilliant. The transformation begins. Cyrus arranged for extensive plastic surgery, reconstructing Shiloh's entire face to perfectly resemble Drew Kane, Jason Morgan's long-lost twin brother. This wasn't just cosmetic, it was strategic. Drew was incarcerated at the time, and the plan was to eliminate the real Drew and insert Shiloh into society under Drew's name. The grim reality? Cyrus had the real Drew killed in prison, or so he believed. Once the body was disposed of, Shiloh, now with Drew's face, took his place. With no one questioning his identity and no memory issues to raise suspicion, Drew re-entered Port Charles a changed man. But behind the new face was the same old manipulative cult leader, plotting and playing everyone around him. Drew's sudden change. Residents noticed the transformation in Drew. He was colder, more calculating, emotionally distant. But what really stood out was his increasing control over Willow, a woman who had once been ensnared in the cult's web under her previous association with Shiloh. Subtle at first, his manipulation grew darker and more intense, echoing the old tactics of the Dawn of Day leader. Willow began to feel unease, familiar feelings of being watched, coerced, and subtly gaslit. It wasn't just intuition, something about Drew felt off. Her instincts screamed that the man living as Drew Kane wasn't who he claimed to be. A chilling realization. The moment of revelation came one evening when Willow observed Drew performing a peculiar bedtime ritual. It was identical to a chant and hand movement that Shiloh used to teach to his most devoted followers. Her blood ran cold. There was no mistaking it. The man claiming to be Drew Kane was, in fact, Shiloh, the same man she believed dead and buried. Shaken but resolute, Willow confided in Jason Morgan. She expected immediate validation, but Jason, ever the pragmatist, remained skeptical. For him, the matter was more complicated. If this Drew was Shiloh, then where was his real twin brother, the true Drew Kane? Jason begins the investigation. Jason couldn't shake the suspicion. Too many things weren't adding up. He launched a quiet investigation, digging into medical records, prison archives, and behavioral inconsistencies. What he found didn't give him answers, it raised more questions. Surveillance footage from the prison showed Drew being taken from his cell days before his supposed death. No body was ever officially recovered. A transfer order appeared in the logs, but it was signed by a warden who had since vanished. A false paper trail. Jason realized the possibility, Drew may still be alive, somewhere, hidden away by Cyrus. Cyrus's plan revealed. Meanwhile, Cyrus has been keeping his distance, orchestrating chaos from the shadows. But rumors in the underworld suggest he's preparing for something big. With Shiloh successfully implanted into Drew's identity, Cyrus has been using him as a puppet in a broader scheme, one that involves gaining control over ELQ, destabilizing Port Charles, and eliminating the Corinthos family for good. Drew's erratic decisions at ELQ, questionable partnerships, and abrupt hostility toward old friends are all part of a deeper game Cyrus is playing. The fake Drew has been working to redirect ELQ's assets into shell companies tied to Renault's offshore accounts. Willow takes action. Willow knows she can't wait for Jason to collect enough evidence. Every day under Shiloh's influence is a risk, not just to her, but to Wiley, and to the people of Port Charles. She decides to confront Drew, pushing him emotionally to reveal himself. She uses phrases and triggers from the old Dawn of Day programming, baiting him into a reaction. It works. Shiloh slips. He lashes out, not as Drew, but as the Shiloh she remembers, the cold, controlling manipulator. It's all the confirmation she needs. The real Drew's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Jason's investigation takes him to a hidden medical facility in Eastern Europe, a remote location where patients with no identity are kept off the books. One of them? A man who matches Drew's DNA and fingerprints but has no memory and no face anyone recognizes. Plastic surgery, sedation, amnesia-inducing drugs. Cyrus went to extreme lengths to keep the real Drew out of the picture. But Jason finds him. Barely alive, traumatized, but alive. Bringing down Shiloh once and for all. Armed with DNA results and hospital records, Jason returns to Port Charles with the real Drew in tow. He wastes no time. He confronts the imposter publicly at an ELQ board meeting, dropping evidence in front of shocked executives. The imposter Drew tries to maintain composure, but when he's cornered by both Jason and the real Drew, he panics. A fight ensues. Years of grief, rage, and betrayal boil over as Jason and the real Drew take down the imposter in a final showdown. Shiloh is arrested. Again, but this time there's no faking his death, no escape. The truth is exposed to the entire town. Aftermath in Port Charles. Port Charles reels from the revelations. The scandal at ELQ sends shockwaves through the business world. Willow begins intensive therapy, recovering from the trauma of nearly being controlled again. Jason and Drew, finally reunited, work to rebuild their bond and repair the damage done to their families. Sam confronts her past with Shiloh, finally feeling like the chapter is truly closed. The town breathes a cautious sigh of relief, though many wonder, how deep did Cyrus's network go, and who else is hiding behind a different face? Next, we're diving into a heated controversy swirling around Port Charles that has fans buzzing with opinions and concerns. The safety of little Donna Corinthos has been thrust into the spotlight after a questionable decision left her in a potentially perilous situation with Cody Bell. From reckless choices to the ripple effects of family trust, this storyline is packed with drama, unexpected twists, and moral dilemmas. Join us as we unpack every facet of this gripping narrative, weaving in fresh details, imaginative elements, and the passionate reactions from the general hospital community, ensuring you're fully immersed in the unfolding chaos. Donna's dangerous situation with Cody. In a turn of events that has left Port Charles residents and avid fans reeling, young Donna Corinthos found herself in a precarious position due to a decision that many believe should have been prevented from the start. Cody Bell, a rugged and often impulsive figure, was entrusted with watching over the innocent child despite being in no condition to do so. Fresh from a brutal encounter with a horse at the Courtemain stables, Cody had been kicked with such force that he was rushed to General Hospital. Yet, in a baffling move, he checked himself out prematurely, ignoring the medical staff's insistence on X-rays to check for broken ribs or internal injuries. Bruised and battered, Cody was visibly wincing as he popped painkillers to dull the throbbing agony, his movements sluggish under the weight of medication. The scene was set at the Corinthos household, where Donna's bright eyes followed Cody with innocent trust, unaware of the danger lurking in his compromised state. What if he had collapsed from the strain, leaving Donna alone and vulnerable in a house filled with potential hazards? Concern rippled through the family as whispered conversations revealed fears of Donna mimicking past behaviors, recalling the terrifying incident when she nearly ingested Sonny's medication during one of his darkest spirals. This haunting memory casts a shadow over the decision to leave her with someone so clearly unfit for the responsibility. How could such a risky choice unfold under the watchful eyes of those who claim to prioritize her safety? Molly's questionable judgment under scrutiny. The decision to place Donna in Cody's care has sparked a firestorm of criticism, with Molly Lansing Davis at the center of the blame. As the one who greenlit this arrangement, Molly now faces intense scrutiny for what many describe as a lapse in judgment bordering on negligence. In the bustling halls of the courthouse where Molly often fights for justice, whispers of disbelief echo among colleagues who question how a woman so sharp in legal matters could falter so drastically in personal ones. Was she distracted by mounting case files, or did she naively overestimate Cody's reliability based on fleeting impressions of his character? Some speculate that Molly's recent stressors balancing her career with family tensions may have clouded her ability to foresee the glaring red flags: Cody's fresh injuries, his reliance on potent painkillers, and his shaky demeanor as he struggled to even stand upright during their brief exchange. Fans imagine the scene vividly: Molly hurriedly handing over Donna's favorite stuffed bunny, oblivious to Cody's forced smile hiding a grimace of pain. The weight of this choice looms large, prompting a broader discussion about accountability within the family. What was Molly thinking when she entrusted a child's safety to someone teetering on the edge of collapse, and will she face lasting repercussions for this misstep? Fan reactions: a divided community. The General Hospital fanbase has erupted into a chorus of passionate opinions across social media platforms, with online forums and comment sections ablaze over Donna's risky predicament. One vocal supporter of soap opera tropes argues that such scenarios are par for the course in the dramatic world of Port Charles, posting, "This kind of thing happens constantly in soaps. As long as the caretaker is vaguely familiar to the family, everyone acts like it's no big deal. Us regular folks would never dream of leaving a child in a stranger's home like this, but soap logic just shrugs it off." This perspective highlights the disconnect between real-world caution and the heightened reality of daytime drama, where plot twists often trump practicality. Others defend Cody's temporary role as babysitter, with a fan noting, "Cody's been tight with Dante in Brooklyn since forever. He's Max Scorpio's son, works for the Quartermaines, and didn't seem totally out of it, just a bit roughed up. Surely he can handle Donna for a quick hour or two." This comment paints Cody as a flawed but trustworthy figure, rooted in community ties that might justify a leap of faith. Yet, not all reactions are forgiving. A frustrated viewer vented, "This is beyond reckless, it's downright absurd. There was no urgent crisis here. Someone just flew off the handle and prioritized personal drama over a child's well-being, abandoning their responsibility without a second thought." These diverse viewpoints underscore the polarizing nature of the storyline, leaving fans to debate whether this plot twist stretches credibility too far or simply mirrors the chaotic charm of soap opera life. Christina's role: a reckless decision or misplaced trust? Adding another layer to this tangled web, Christina Corinthos Davis emerges as a pivotal figure in the unfolding drama, with her actions drawing sharp critique from fans and characters alike. Spoilers suggest Christina was tasked with safeguarding Donna during a critical time. Sonny, her father, was undergoing major surgery, a procedure fraught with uncertainty that demanded the family rally together. Yet, in a moment of characteristic impulsiveness, Christina allegedly abandoned her post, driven by a burning need to confront someone over a personal grievance tied to her mother Alexis's unwavering support despite Christina's past mistakes. Picture the scene: Christina, her face flushed with righteous anger, pacing in the Corinthos' living room before storming out, leaving Donna's safety as an afterthought. Fan commentary captures the frustration, with one writing, "Her dad's life is on the line, she's supposed to be Donna's protector while chaos unfolds, but no, she lets her temper take over and ditches everything for some petty showdown." It's classic Christina: her indignation always trumps duty. This paints Christina as a volatile force, her erratic behavior threatening the fragile stability of her family. Did she make the right call in trusting Cody as a last-minute substitute, Or does this reflect a deeper flaw in her inability to prioritize those who depend on her most? The question lingers as viewers await the fallout of her hasty exit. The broader implications for Port Charles families. Beyond the immediate danger to Donna, this incident raises profound questions about trust, responsibility, and the often blurred lines of caregiving within the tight-knit yet tumultuous Port Charles community. The Corinthos family, already scarred by past traumas involving medication mishaps and emotional volatility, now faces a fresh wound. How can they rebuild confidence in each other's judgment when such a fundamental oversight occurs? Imagine conversations at Kelly's diner reveal neighbors murmuring about the incident, some blaming systemic issues like the constant crises that plague powerful families like the Corinthoses and Quartermaines, where drama often overshadows basic precautions. Others speculate on whether Cody, despite his current state, might harbor a hidden protective streak tied to his own mysterious past, perhaps a childhood memory of being left vulnerable, fuels an unspoken vow to shield Donna at all costs, even as his body protests. This storyline also subtly introduces a new layer. What if Donna, in her innocence, sensed Cody's fragility and tried to help by fetching him water or pills, mirroring her dangerous curiosity with Sonny's meds? Such a twist could amplify the stakes, highlighting the urgent need for stricter boundaries. As the community grapples with these events, the incident becomes a cautionary tale, prompting families to re-evaluate who they entrust with their most precious responsibilities. What lies ahead for Donna and the Corinthos clan? As the dust settles on this controversial chapter, spoilers tease that the repercussions of Donna's endangerment will ripple through upcoming episodes, shaping relationships and igniting confrontations across Port Charles. Will Molly face a reckoning for her role in the debacle, perhaps enduring a heartfelt apology to Sonny and Carly as they return from the hospital, their faces etched with worry over their daughter's close call? Might Christina confront her own demons, spurred by guilt to seek redemption through a renewed commitment to family, or will her defiance only deepen the rift with those she's hurt? And what if Cody? Could a deeper examination of his injuries reveal a graver condition, complicating his narrative as either a hero who pushed through pain or a reckless liability? Fans are urged to tune in daily to witness how this saga unfolds, whether it leads to tighter family bonds forged in crisis or fractures that may never heal. The streets of Port Charles remain a stage for high-stakes drama, where every choice carries the weight of life-altering consequences. Next, we're diving into the tantalizing possibility of a romantic reunion that has set the Port Charles rumor mill ablaze. Could Nina Reeves and Sonny Corinthos rekindle their once passionate flame? Fans of the iconic ABC soap are buzzing with speculation about whether these two complex characters might find their way back into each other's arms, especially now that certain obstacles seem to have cleared from their path. In this expanded exploration, we'll delve into their past, unpack the current dynamics, weave in fresh imaginative details, and share the fervent opinions of the general hospital community. Buckle up for a deep dive into heartbreak, longing, and the ever-shifting tides of love in Port Charles as we explore what the future might hold for Nina and Sonny. A new chapter beckoning for Nina and Sonny? In the ever-dramatic landscape of Port Charles, whispers of a potential reconciliation between Nina Reeves and Sonny Corinthos are gaining momentum, stirring excitement among longtime viewers. With Natalia Ramirez no longer in the picture, having exited Sonny's orbit after a whirlwind of complications, the stage appears set for a fresh start between these two star-crossed lovers. Picture the scene, a quiet evening at the Metro Court, where Nina, dressed in a stunning crimson gown, gazes out over the city skyline, her thoughts drifting to memories of stolen moments with Sonny. Meanwhile, across town, Sonny, brooding in the dim light of his office, flips through old photographs, a wistful smile playing on his lips as he recalls the fiery connection they once shared. The absence of Natalia has left a void in Sonny's life, one that fans speculate Nina might be uniquely poised to fill, given their shared history of intense passion and profound challenges. However, complicating this potential reunion is Carly Spencer's current entanglement with Jack Brennan, a relationship that keeps her preoccupied and seemingly out of Sonny's romantic sphere for the moment. Could this be the perfect window for Nina to step back into Sonny's heart, Or are there deeper barriers yet to surface? The possibility hangs in the air like a charged storm cloud, promising either a torrid reunion or another heartbreaking miss. Reflecting on a breakup lacking fireworks. While the prospect of Nina and Sonny reuniting sparks intrigue, it's worth revisiting the surprisingly muted nature of their initial split, a detail that has puzzled many fans. Unlike the explosive confrontations and tear-soaked farewells typical of Port Charles romances, their parting was more a quiet unraveling, devoid of the high drama one might expect from such a powerful pairing. Imagine the somber moment. Nina packing her belongings in a sparsely lit penthouse suite, her eyes glistening with unshed tears as Sonny stands by the window, hands in his pockets, offering no grand gestures to her. There were no shattered vases or shouted accusations, just a resigned acceptance that their paths had diverged, at least for a time. Despite this lack of theatricality, their relationship wasn't without its storms, particularly when family tensions involving Sonny's children and Nina's past decisions cast long shadows over their bond. Yet, in the glow of retrospect, many recall Sonny at his most vibrant during his time with Nina, a man rejuvenated by love, his smiles brighter and his burdens lighter as they danced at glamorous galas or shared intimate dinners by candlelight. This contrast between their understated breakup and the vitality of their happier days fuels speculation. Did they part too soon, or was their connection doomed by unspoken priorities that still linger?